I call it 10x development, right? So like, how do you craft, your process of becoming better, right? And I think it's really good to celebrate your strengths and to work on those, of course, because we want to have something for us as a hockey player that allows us to stand out in a positive way, right? If you're a shooter and you can score on the one time, you should continue to practice that shot, of course, right? Because you want to still have that be one of your weapons. But you also don't want to have something that could potentially hold you back. So you have to be able to analyze what your weakness is. Having that self-awareness, though, is critical, is it not? Like to really try and unpack your game and try and find out what might stop you at the next level.
Huge. And I think you got to get out of your little comfort zone, because you made good where you are in Vernon or Kelowna or Penticton, but you're not competing against the guys from Vancouver, Calgary, Winnipeg, Minnesota, New York, Boston, where there's so many good hockey players. So you have to go, how can I get better every day? Whether it's power skating, shooting, strength in the gym, the psychology part of the game of hockey, and, going to a gym and working out with a purpose and plyometrics. Like there's so much now. Like, back then, I think there was maybe 4 or 5 power skating teachers in the world. Now you can break down your craft so much in the game of hockey. But again, you're spending money for a lot of things. But now if you're going to be that hockey player that you say you're going to be, you need to invest in that. Even nutrition. Like I still see a lot of guys not following through on nutrition. They just going to think I'm good. Well, I always say to me, there's always someone bigger and stronger and better than you somewhere. So you better work every day to catch that person. You may not know him, but I guarantee he's out there.
It's easy not to work on the stuff you're not good at because it sucks. Like you don't really enjoy it. I think that's the biggest deterrent, right? About the development of a weakness is that it's not fun. Like it really
is definitely not fun.
Right?
Who wants to work on a backhand, right?
Yeah.
Like I always say, receiving a pass on a backhand. Like everybody wants to do what's good, but that'll eventually keep you flatlined. It's the guys that work on those things that are tougher to do the extra cardio, do the extra gym work, doing the yoga, stretching your body, watching what you're going to bed at a certain time. You know what? You can't just wake up and think you're going to get better. You got to put the work in. And, for most night, you're going to get better if you do put the work in.
Most players and people are just on autopilot. You go about your day and how it works out is how it works out. But I think that you can increase your passion, right? There's a reason why these players started. And I think if you can focus on what those things are and even grow what the bandwidth is of like what you love about the game, it allows these other things that are maybe a little bit more uncomfortable become easier to follow through on, right? And then if you have the mindset around what it means to actually have a growth mindset, that these ideas or these skill sets that maybe you don't quite have, you are able to get better at them. You are able to make different choices that allow yourself to improve. It kind of gets exciting. Like you can have the actual exact opposite feeling about them when you're doing them. So the mental side of it and the approach to the game, I think, is the part that hasn't been uncovered by the vast majority of players, and it can make the biggest difference, way more than like a power skating session can, right? How about your approach to the power skating session, right? Like that's a game changer.
It's huge, and I'm ready to play now. You got me all jacked up already, so I want to make another comeback. But that's what we try to do every day with our kids. You have to motivate them to do good every day, to do more and want more. Like you said, okay, you're going to practice. What did you do before you got on the ice to practice to make you better? Stretching it out, stretching your groins, hydrating enough. But it's that same old, same old. Some kids will get it, some won't. And hopefully kids that understand and they're going to do it, obviously get the results that they're looking for.